I believe it's the other side helping us all the way along our whole life.
My name is Barbara. I thought dying meant the end, darkness, nothingness. But I was wrong, dead wrong, because one December day in 1987, during a routine medical test, I flatlined. My heart stopped, and I left my body. I'd already survived years of abuse, from a man I thought I loved. I was stuck, scared, and slowly losing myself. Then suddenly, I was floating above my own lifeless body, watching chaos unfold below, and standing next to a presence that felt like God. But that wasn't the most shocking part. What he showed me next didn't just change how I saw death. It changed how I saw my life, and it led me to make a decision that would save not only me, but my children too. I grew up in West Salem, Oregon, one of 5 kids, 3 older siblings and 1 younger. My little sister and I were wild, happy, full of life. We'd ride our bikes everywhere, family camping trips, laughter, adventure. It was a good life. After high school, I went to City College and eventually moved to Santa Barbara when I was 27. That's where things began to change. I married a man who turned out to be angry, controlling, abusive. At first, I kept hoping he'd get better. I begged him to go to counseling, talk to a pastor, something, but he refused every time. His rage poisoned our home. If my son or I stepped out of line, even slightly, we paid for it. And when I say we, I mean physically. One day, he called me outside. On our patio, there were bags of cement stacked up with a 2x4 underneath them. He had his shoulder under it and said, "Come over here." I asked, "What are you doing?" He didn't answer, just yanked my left arm and pulled me under that beam. Then he moved his shoulder. The 2x4 dropped. The weight of those cement bags came crashing down on my shoulder. Something in my lower back exploded. It felt like I'd been shot. I crumpled. Walking became difficult. The first doctor said I had sciatica caused by a blown disc. And he looked me in the eye and said, "I don't think I can fix this. You might never walk again." I was 31. My daughter was just 5 months old. My son was 8. I wasn't ready to accept that. A friend from work told me, "Don't believe him. Talk to this neurosurgeon I know." So I did. I went in for an appointment, and the neurosurgeon looked at my x-rays on the board and said the words I needed to hear. "Oh, I can fix this." They scheduled surgery for December, but first, I had to do a procedure called a myelogram. They inject iodine dye into your spinal cord to see if anything's chipped or worse. They told me, "Do not move." If I did, I'd have headaches for months. There were 5 people in the room, 2 doctors, 2 x-ray techs, and a nurse. They numbed the area behind my neck but gave me no anesthesia. Then they started tilting the x-ray table, feet down, head up, to let the dye move through my spine. And then, something went very wrong. I started feeling funny, like I was going to faint. But no one was watching me. The doctors were chatting, the nurse stood near the door, and the tech at the control panel. He was pressing the wrong button. Suddenly, I couldn't control my breathing. I started hyperventilating. The x-ray tech finally looked at my face, saw my eyes rolling back, and made a horrified expression. Then, everything went black, but not in the way you'd expect. The next thing I knew, I was up on the ceiling. I was looking down at my body. The panic I'd felt was gone. In its place was the most overwhelming feeling of love and acceptance. It felt like being wrapped in the warmest, safest blanket of peace. Then I saw the tech call Code Blue. I calmly thought, if I'm up here and they're calling Code Blue down there, I think I just died. That's when he appeared. It felt like God, not in some fire and brimstone way, but like someone I had known forever, He didn't speak, not yet. But his presence, it was love in its purest form. I could feel it in every part of me. I wasn't just Barbara anymore. I was something pure, spirit, light. As I hovered there, I saw them rushing around, bringing in the oxygen cart, attaching heart monitor pads, performing CPR. A man flipped a toggle switch on a box and a line appeared. Flat. Oh, I realized, that's my flatline. And the moment I had that thought, I was back up next to him. Then he finally spoke. He asked, gently but clearly, "But if you go back, you'll still be in your marriage. What will you do?" Before I could answer, it was like a rapid slideshow. Flash, flash, flash. All the moments of abuse I'd lived through, the cycle, the apologies, the flowers, the empty promises, the guilt. And I realized I'd been trying to fix him. But that was never the answer. I had to change. I had to leave. So, I made a promise. If you let me go back, I promise I'll get strong enough to leave him. The moment I said him, the doctor did a second precordial thump. My heart restarted. I woke up with the oxygen mask on my face, and everyone stared at me like they'd seen a ghost. I asked, "What just happened?" The neurosurgeon snapped, "Stop! Don't talk!" For 20 minutes, they stabilized me. Then I tried again. I was up on the ceiling. I saw everything. I described the scene in detail. The defib call, the oxygen cart, the heart monitor. The neurosurgeon lost it, clenched his fists, stormed out, furious. But the orthopedic surgeon? He grabbed my hand. "Tell me again, what did you see? What did it feel like?" The next day, they did the surgery, laminectomy and discectomy on my L5S1. Every person I asked in the hospital about what happened the night before denied anything happened. No one wrote it down. No one said a word. For 12 years, I stayed quiet. I told my then husband, and he scoffed, "You hallucinated." But I didn't drink, never touched drugs. My mom was a cop, I was clean, and I knew it wasn't a dream. Eventually I got out. I waited until he went to Canada for a week, got a restraining order, alerted the police, escaped with my kids. And then, something incredible happened. My son brought home a girl from school and said we should go to a movie. I went to pick her up, and her dad opened the door. A 7-foot-tall man. Turns out the kids set us up. 6 months later, we were married. That was 30 years ago. He was every character trait I'd written in a little book by my bed. I used to read it every night, asking God to send me someone with those qualities. I believe he did. Years later, a nurse friend finally gave me the words I never had, near-death experience. I looked it up online and realized I wasn't alone. I now know that the other side is listening. Always. And when we open the door, they come through. Not just in death, but in life. Through intuition, through love, through rescue. I don't fear death anymore, because I know we don't end, we evolve. Dying wasn't the hardest part, living in fear was. For years, I tried to fix someone who only broke me. But during that moment out of my body, with a divine presence beside me, I saw the truth. I had to stop waiting for change and become the change. Coming back gave me clarity, not ease. I still had to fight for my freedom, for my kids, but I returned with purpose. I no longer believed I was alone. That experience didn't just save me, it awakened me. Once you've touched that kind of love, you never forget. You carry it forever.